Welcome to Active Citizens Parliament. My name is Sharon Edom Chuku. Joining me live in the studio, I have Ifoma Oji. Good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening and welcome to Active Citizens Parliament. It's a light joke. I'm fine. Always fine. I'm doing great.
All right. Now we're going straight to the stories. First, President Bola Tinubu has described Wike allegedly as the leader of the APC in Rivers State. The statement is raising first questions about party structure, loyalty, and the balance of power in a state long known for intense political rivalry. Second, Sheikh Tinubu's visit to businessman and social figure Obi Kubana has gone viral following the presentation of an appointment letter linking him to the City Boy movement. Supporters see the political outreach. Critics see symbolism without clarity. And finally, on the same City Boy movement, we're seeing that actor Bolanle Linalowo has been announced as the U.S. Atlanta coordinator for President Bola Tinubu. The move has reopened conversations around celebrity involvement in governance, competence, and political messaging to the diaspora. And I would like us to start with Obi Kubana and see that video where Sheikh Tinubu paid him a visit to offer him the appointment letter, officially welcoming him to the movement and assigning him with the role as the Southeastern Zonal Coordinator for the City Boy movement to make sure that President Tinubu clinches the seat ahead of 2027. Let's have a look at the video. Alright, now I remember last week where we started having conversations around Obi Kubana's involvement with the City Boy movement, but we had to halt the conversations as we weren't sure as to the truthfulness behind that story, seeing that Obi Kubana had not at that time come out to openly say that he was made or appointed as the zonal coordinator. But that video, we saw Sheikh Tinubu in the video, we saw some public figures in the video, the owner of Stanbic as well was there in that video, and Obi Kubana himself. We saw the letter in question and him signing that a lot. Now this means that it has been confirmed that he is a part of that movement. So now we can now confidently give our takes, which is what I'm coming to. Ifoma, what is your take on Obi Kubana's involvement with the City Boy movement?
Okay, I don't really have much to say on this topic because I remember when it was more like speculations. I said, it's his right as a citizen to choose maybe whoever he wants to rapport with, and he chose the the president's son to be more like his best friend or the person that he dines with. But this is where the agitation began, is because of the fact that people were thinking that, oh, you're not supposed to be meddling with this person. This group of persons are always marginalizing the Igbos or the people in the southeast. So we see you as a figure that will fight in the interest of the Igbos in the southeast. You understand? So that's where we're having this whole drama. But at the end of the day, he's still number one in Nigeria, and we keep on saying that we are all one. So this is a young man or an elderly looking for how to put food on the table of his family. So if he chooses any path in life, it is his decision. We're not the one that will determine what he does and doesn't do for him. It's something that maybe will benefit him and benefit his family. And while he goes ahead to look for a greener pasture for himself and his family, you will still see online what is it called, speculators, or what should I even call them? Should I say call them predators, always coming to attack them instead of looking for a way now to make their own money and be relevant in the society. So instead of backlashing him or bashing him all the time, why don't we, if it is joining ADC, joining PDP, because now
Right.
APC, I think now joining all these political parties now is the best move.
Okay,
Because
so
when you
I
join it,
think
you're
that
covered.
first
for
of
life.
all, Obi Kubana was not a politician. He's never publicly said he was in any he holds any political position, none that I'm aware of. And the fact that people are coming to attack him for accepting his first political appointment, even though it's not under an administration that they approve of, is quite alarming. You do not approve of a certain administration, but you would vote for that administration. You do not approve of a certain administration, but you're not doing anything. If it's time for protest, some people would sit at home and not come out to involve themselves with that protest. And also, the man that was actively involved in a way of, trying to secure the Igbos, or trying to speak for the Igbos, like some would say, is in Kirikiri now. He is imprisoned, and we're moving on from that conversation as if nothing happened. So it's the fact that people think that people care so much about them, except as though people are Jesus, people that would give up their life for you or lay down their lives for you. When we're in a situation in a country where it's a dog eats dog world, everybody is trying to do what pleases them. And Obi Kubana has done what would help him move forward in life, or maybe politically. Who knows if he wants to maybe venture into politics aside from business now, and he has chosen to align with who he wants to align with. If he was previously in a party and then he is defecting, maybe we'll put him in the bandwagon of politicians who are defecting for maybe personal gain or not. But this has been a purely business Igbo man who has been on his lane for a long time, only gotten visibility and attention because of his businesses, that wants to venture into a certain path. It is very different, in my opinion, from what is happening in Enugu State, where they're forcing their teachers to sign the APC registration form. He did it voluntarily, and like Ifoma rightfully said, we do have the choice and options as Nigerians to go to whichever party we want to go to and support who we want to support. But talking about support now and partnerships, we're seeing that President Bola Tinubu has described allegedly Nyesom Wike as the leader of the APC in Rivers State. We know that the battle between Wike and Fubara has been ongoing for a while, and we've seen the intervention of the president in their fight over time. First, it was when he tried to settle. It seemed as though there was no settlement in sight, and then they called for the state of emergency, which now we're seeing Fubara has defected to the APC. Now, because of their party politics, whoever is the governor in any state becomes automatically the 001 of the party in said state. But because of the type of position Wike has held over the years, it has become unclear. Right now, we're hearing, it's still speculations, right? But we're hearing now that President Bola Tinubu has come out to say that regardless of Fubara being the governor of Rivers State, that the 001 position is still with Wike. And I don't know if we were expecting to hear that. This is still speculation, like Obi Kubana on words, but were you expecting to hear that stance?
Sort of, but not completely, because after Fubara joined APC, a lot of people were saying that okay, it is time for the president, and now we hope that the president will do the right thing, since Fubara has joined APC, by supporting him and stopping all this bullying of a thing. But I think the president realized that maybe Wike has more power than Fubara, and that's why he's siding Fubara, even if he is in a different party, which I will still come to. But Wike controlled things in Rivers State from 2015 to 2023. Now he was in charge of the House of Assembly. He was the one that was appointing local government structures. He was the one that was appointing party leaders, political appointments, and the rest of them. Then picking Fubara as his successor, and people voting Fubara into office. Now, where everything began, the crisis began, was when Fubara came into his own administration, and he tried to control everything, tried to gain independence, standing on his own ground. All those appointments that Wike made during his time, he started revoking all those things, because he is now the sole 001 of the state. You understand? That is where everything became chaotic. And I was really sad when the president declared the state of emergency, because I said that case is still being contested in courts, that the president has the power to declare state of emergency, but the president, I don't know yet if he has the power to remove an elected governor from office. So now that he now said that that Fubara should respect and worship Wike, that he is the the all-rounder of the party, even though Wike is in a different party. And I'm still yet to understand how a governor, a former governor in a state, will be campaigning for another president or a president that is in a different party. I thought that it was supposed to be an opposition something, always in all this backlash, wherever policy he comes with, if it doesn't suit the interests of the people, you give him back boost. That's what we were expecting. But this one is completely different, and I think because of the way Wike was going about the whole thing in Rivers State, the president realized that I don't think Fubara can wage this war or do the right thing or assert control in Rivers State, and that is why he has now bestowed the power on Wike to carry on with whatever he's doing. But I say this, Wike, Fubara is the sole administrator in Rivers State, and he should be in charge of everything that goes on in the state. Wike on the other side is the godfather of Fubara, and he should step back and advise Fubara on maybe his policies and the rest of them. Then the president on the other end is supposed to mediate and not come to control the affairs of the state, even though he has power to an extent, but the power is limited. So let's know our boundaries and not overcross it or cross it.
I think what even surprises me is the way and manner in which politics is played. It is not a black and white affair. So one would think that because you are a governor in a place and the constitution rightfully bestows some powers upon you as governor and as the number one resident in that state, one would think that there are some benefits and the powers that come with it would be respected and upheld. And I think for me it's been a while, but it's only in Rivers State where I have seen that being defied time and time again. Governor Fubara, like you rightfully said, was the successor for Wike, and he decided to cut off ties and no longer play the puppet for Wike, which really led to the fight. But the thing now is the president's interference. That is the point of view I'm coming from. In a democratic nation, supposedly, right, in a democratic nation, that's the involvement, the interference, the stance of the president will not fly, because he's supposed to play a father role. He's supposed to play a neutral role where he's bringing two parties together to find peace. But now it is so obvious, even a blind man can see that he's on the side of Wike. For people who are still thinking that this particular news is merely going to end as speculations, let us remember that a state of emergency was held in honor of Wike by the president of Nigeria. And now we're seeing that even after Fubara defected to the APC, it somehow might not put an end to that political and power struggle and tussle between himself and his predecessor, Nyesom Wike. And that just shows that there is more to what the eyes can see. There is a lot in play here, a lot of political undertones that people don't understand. If you're from the outside, I don't think you can really tell what is going on in the inside. It is people that are in the inner circles that can tell us exactly why it seems as though Wike has the heart of the president in his palms, and Wike has the support of the president. Might not be the support of the people now, but the support of the number one man in Nigeria, which is the president of Nigeria, is on the side of Wike. And the fact that Wike knows that, Wike understands the power that he shields, the power that he wields, and he's not afraid to show that. I mean, the fact that he even went to Rivers State and he opened up the Rainbow Group, where every party is under. There is no party in Rivers State where every party is under that rainbow. I've never seen anything like that before, and that's the president allowed that to fly. That is where I started asking questions, because one would think that the APC and what you're doing in other states, people defecting to the APC because you're trying to gather control and power. Now you see someone who is in broad daylight trying to actively take power from your mouth and nobody is saying anything, and that's when I realized there must be something that Wike has or Wike knows that nobody is willing to challenge if they want to secure their 2027 re-election bid. And as we move over to the last question, to the last story, I think the final question I would ask here is, since I can already tell that this back and forth is not going to end anytime soon, let's be honest. Now, going forward, what do you think would be the state of the people of Rivers State? Because before they had the state of emergency, and state of emergency would affect business, affect people's transportation, going and coming, livelihood. If this should continue, if Rivers State should continue being a playground for Fubara and Wike, what would be their future?
I think we already know River State is more like one day one trouble, one day one problem. That's what's going on in River State, and it's so sad that this war started long time ago, and up till now 2026 we are still going back and forth with this particular war. And I ask, what about the people of River State? Where are they at this point? In all this chaos, in all this dispute, where are they? You ask a question, what will be the fate of the people in River State? Number one, salaries will not be paid. Number two, development is going to stall. Number three, a lot infrastructures, things that they are supposed to channel their energy to. This is, I was hoping that when this emergency rule was over, that Fubara was going to assert power and do the needful, do his due diligence in River State and avoid all these distractions from Wike. But from what I'm seeing now, the man is even fighting for his life. He's definitely fighting for his position. Yes, because even the impeachment, when we started this impeachment talk, I said that this is totally wrong. If, for instance, this whole allegation of mismanagement of funds in office was true in the first place, what would have happened is EFCC would have weighed in, made investigation, and if confirmed, they can now take to the assembly for impeachment processes. But they skipped all these stages and then moved to the impeachment process. So you see something is not really sitting well, or something that we're yet to understand here is really sufficing, or we are seeing that. And the president equally saying that they should hold on with the impeachment process, which is fine. But the entire thing that is going on in River State is all about power and influence. And it's so sad that at the end of the day, it's the people of River State that are bearing the brunt of this whole dispute. And it's so sad.
And do you think that the Sissy Boy movement is a counter-attack from the president putting his son at the helm of affairs for the Sissy Boy movement to maybe challenge this rainbow group from Wike? Have you thought about that?
No, I haven't thought about that.
Because it's all about consolidating power. Now what Sissy Boy is doing, what Tinubu is doing, is going around to stakeholders. Even in the third story, we saw that the actor Mimi has also been made an Atlanta coordinator in the United States ahead of 2027. He's met Obi Kubana, and I heard there are other people as well that he has met, which is also similar to what Wike is doing as well in River State. And they always call Tinubu the master strategist. Do you think that this might be a backup plan?
Yes,
the president.
See, I feel like the president from 2023 that he won this election as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, he started planning on his second tenure. And that's why everybody, when you ask anybody about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they will tell you that he is a master strategist, because he placed people at strategic places or locations. People, number one, that will defend him, that will fight for him till they lose their breath ends You understand? So asking me if this is a backup plan, yes, it is a backup plan. We know him as a master, strategist. But the way I see Cubana chief priest and the other people, notable holders, that he is drawing closer to him ahead of 2027 election. Number one, this is people that you give what's it called? It's not like you're giving a dog bone and you're expecting the dog not to eat the bone when you know that the bone is sufficient or is needed for the dog to eat. So this is something that those people need, and that opportunity was provided for them, and they grabbed it with their hands closed. And then talking about the 2027 election, yes, placing people in strategic positions is good for his campaign and good for his win in 2027 election. So is it a good strategy? Is it a backup plan? I think it is a backup plan.
Okay.
But is it for the good of Nigerian? That is a question mark there.
Now, I also, because the reason why I asked this question, honestly speaking, is because I just thought about it now. Seeing the City Boy movement and remembering the Rainbow group that Wike is organizing in Rivers State, trying to consolidate power in Rivers, but with the City Boy movement, which is headed by the president's son, flesh and blood, is more, we're having a global coordination, because we're having people in the United States, we're having people in Nigeria, key holders in Nigeria at this particular table. Now, I just thought to myself, this really might be the president's plan. It might be a backup plan, because thinking about it, it would be foolish to give or trust someone like Wike completely, seeing the type of fight that he's had with even his predecessors, people that put in or gave him the opportunities and opened up doors for him, and how he's fought with literally almost everybody. It would not be a wise move to completely trust a personality like that.
But he needs him.
Exactly, that's why I am saying that this is where the City Boy movement might come in order for the president to have a soft landing and a cushion to his plans to really take that seat come 2027. And it's really impressive that we are good at playing good politics, but we're not good at good governance in this country. We're seeing a lot of political strategies and politicking here and there, and different things going on behind the scenes. Even the little we can see, we can already tell just the planning and the thought that was going into that, because you rightfully said it's as though when the president came into power, he'd already start planning. He said he was going to hit the ground running, right? He was going to hit the ground running, and maybe we didn't know the context where that was coming from. Maybe it was not with development in the country, and maybe it was with his politics and his political career. For someone who has been in politics in Nigeria, playing politics in Nigeria for decades now, I just don't I just think that there's a whole lot in play when we're talking of the Wike and the President Tinubu collaboration. But coming over to the United States coordinator, the Atlanta coordinator, we don't know how many more coordinators there are, because this one is popular because he's an actor. Let's talk about entertainment and politics and how they've merged. We remember Eniola Badmus, when not just Eniola Badmus, but Eniola Badmus, Tony Abraham in the 2023 elections, when they came out to publicly say they were for Tinubu, and the kind of backlash they got, people expecting them to have done better, seeing that they are where they are, maybe because of the public's love and support. Now we're seeing an actor again supporting or already shifting camp. I don't know which camp he was in before. What do you have to say about that entertainment and politics marriage?
First off, let's say that should be Nini Lowo or what? Nini, yes, Nini Lowo, whatever he calls himself. First off, he said that President Tinubu will make Nigeria great again. that he's I think he said he's on his way to making him great again. I can't
relax. Tinubu will fix it.
Exactly, Tinubu will fix it, and Tinubu will fix Nigeria, but his children are abroad. I'm talking about Nini now. His children are abroad. Why don't he get his children down here in Nigeria, so that once Tinubu is fixing Nigeria, the children will be seeing the fruition of the fixing or the New Hope agenda? That's where he should start from first of all. And then talking about the entertainment industry, you know, all these entertainers, all these artists and actors and actresses, they play an important role in Nigeria, most especially the entertainment industry, and they have large following. Most of them have large following, so making a pact with them ahead of an election is equally a strategic move against 2027. So when you see the president making moves to collaborating with entertainers or people in the entertainment industry, is because he knows that, I mean, they are loyal followers, they are, you know, fanatic fans of these people. So wherever those people go, they are ready to go. If they want to die, they are ready to die.
Do you think that they still have such influence over people?
They still have. See, I think you know about Ratel movement.
Yes.
Ratel movement. These people are blinded. They are blinded. They are ready to fight for any cause very dark man raises in the society. Same thing with Showore. They are people, loyalists of his. They are ready to go anywhere he's going. So these people have large followings. So you cannot really take them away from maybe like politics or even trying to secure your ticket or your win for an election. They are very important and vital.
All right, because it's going to be interesting to see, because I think personally for me, I thought, or I felt that we should have gotten to that point where as a people we can be able to see things for ourselves and make decisions for ourselves as to where we are standing politically. I also believe that at this point people should know that politics does not only affect a few. It does not affect the politicians or their kids. It affects everybody. So when we talk about the influence of these actors or these entertainers, I just believe that Nigerians, to a large extent, right, have gotten to a point where they are not willing to follow blindly anybody just because they have influence. I mean, for instance, Obi Kubana has been under a lot of backlash ever since it was speculated. I don't even want to know how hot the comment section will be now, because I haven't checked. But as of that time, when it was barely a speculation, they were dragging Obi Kubana left, right, center because of that. Now, even also under the same comment of this actor, I also saw people as well saying things like, "Oh, you failed the youths." They say that under Obi Kubana's comment section as well, that he has failed the youth and the rest. I just think that we are closer. Maybe we've not gotten there completely, but I feel that we are closer to that point where there is a political awakening. People are interested in what is going on. People are paying attention to the news. Young people, old people, no matter the age grade, just because we have seen 1 and 2 in this country, just, you know, by acting blindly and following blindly, or acting as if it doesn't concern you, or, you know, there are even some things that have, you know, supported this religiously, saying no matter what is going on in the country, it will not affect you and your family member. That whole mindset, I think, is getting to that point where it's changing, and people understand that 90 to 99% of your problems that you pray for can actually be solved by good government and good governance. And this is why I believe, if you have not gotten that, I'm just going to say it for free now. This is why I believe that you should not be influenced by an influencer, by a celebrity, when it concerns your government, because they will decide your future, whether you know it or not, indirectly or directly, going forward. Now, finally on this, right, we mentioned the collaboration and all. Just quickly, do you think that with Obi Kubana still talking influence and the way a lot of youths look up to him, first off, do you see more people like Obi Kubana joining this movement? Because I don't know if I've heard another person, but people like Obi Kubana that have that influence, and now do you see him using that influence and people actually following where he's going to?
Yeah, I see a lot of that. Obi Kubana now has more like a group, I feel like he has a group of, let me call them, city boys too. If you talk about Anambra State, if you talk about Lagos State, they are big key notable holders that he is having he's rapporting with, let me put it that way. So yes, of course, he's going to make moves to, you know, bring these same people into the same umbrella, and that is the exact plan that the president that will say that he has by appointing him whatever he appointed him. I don't even care about the appointment,
the zonal coordinator for
whatever he is, but that is he will definitely you know, draw people into the same thing. So make everybody go chop the central national cake.
All right, I think for now we're going to call it a wrap on the conversation. Thank you very much, Ifomoji, for joining us on the conversation, and to you, our viewers, thank you for sticking with us. We see your comments. We encourage you to keep commenting, share this video to your loved ones, and of course subscribe to our YouTube channel to be updated whenever we go live. If you're yet to follow us across all social media, please do so at Active Citizens. Till we see you tomorrow, do have a pleasant evening.